Let's talk about my April TBR. Hey guys. Okay, so here is some news ish. Um, I have a set TBR for April because I have some plans. And with everything, like the way it's been going and everything, I do have some very set things that I want to read, some that are still up in the air. I have 2 vlogs that I'm going to do for sure. I have 2 other vlogs that I would like to do. And yeah, like very excited for what is to come. However, because of this TBR, I just want to make you guys aware that in May we are going TBR free. So I have no idea what I'm going to read for May, and I have no plans. I've picked no books. So we're going blind for everything. I will have a Patreon read. That will be the only book that I'm going to make an obligation to read. And not that it's an obligation. I love reading with my patrons. So a few books on hold on Libby. Don't really want to talk about them though, because I don't know when they're going to show up. Some of them show for, or one of them shows for 12 weeks out. One of them shows for 8 weeks out. One of them shows for 16 weeks out. So no real plans to read them in April because I don't even know if they're going to show up in April. So let's talk about the 2 vlogs that I plan to do. The first vlog that I want to do is I'm going to be reading books that my patrons picked for me. There are 4, and I'm very excited. The first of those would be Children of Gods and Fighting Men by Shauna Lawless. I have been dying to read this series, so I'm so glad that Izzy picked it for me, and I need to get into this series. I know that it's mythology based, but there's like history and fantasy, and I love historical fantasy and just really excited for it. Next would be An Easy Death by Charlaine Harris. They were kind to me, weren't they? They were kind. So this is Kate's pick, and I am excited about this. I haven't read Charlaine Harris in such a long time, but I've had this book for forever. And I don't know. I mean, Western fantasy. You know, I've been digging the Western fantasy with No Land for Heroes. And this says, set in a fractured United States in the southwestern country now known as Texoma, where magic is acknowledged but mistrusted, especially by a young gun for hire named Lisbeth Rose. Lisbeth Rose takes a job offer from a pair of Russian wizards to be their local guide, and Gunny? For the wizards, Gunny Rose has already acquired a fearsome reputation, and they're at a desperate crossroads, even if they won't admit it. Yeah, let's just go with it. I'm so excited about this one. All right, and then the next is a pick would be Flames of Mira. I've had this arc for forever. So has she. I'm hoping that she'll join me in on this one whenever I start to read it, but I've been excited for this one. I've heard the comparisons to Red Rising. I am excited and a little nervous about it, but I had thought this was going to be a little different than Red Rising, so we'll see. We'll see. But if you like Red Rising, I've heard that you will like this one, and I'll be reading it in April. And then Kate's second pick, A Witch in Time by Constance Sayers. I'm pretty excited about this. I love historical books, and this is going to be like another historical fantasy. Sorry, my dog's whining at the door. I can hear him. I'm expecting gothic, creepy, very intimate vibes from this book, and yeah. It says, a bewitching tale of passion, reincarnation, and magic. Helen Lambert has lived several lives, a young piano virtuoso in 1890s Paris, an actress in the 1930s Hollywood, a rock star in 1970s Los Angeles. Only she doesn't know it until she meets a strange man who claims he's watching over her for centuries, bound to her from the beginning. So, Addie LaRue vibes a little bit, but very, very excited. Okay, the second vlog that I am prepared to do this month is my family picked my TBR. So let's see what they picked for me. My son picked A Time of Dread by John Gwynne. I can't tell you how excited I am to be reading this baby because I love The Faithful and the Fallen. I need more John Gwynne in my life, and I didn't really like his new series, so I'm ready to get back to the Banished Lands. And then my husband chose for me Upon a Burning Throne by Ashok K. Banker, the Burnt Empire Saga. All I know about this is that if you sit on the throne and you are unworthy, the throne will burn you up. That's what I know. It says, in a world where demigods and demons walk among mortals, the emperor of the vast burnt empire has died, leaving a turbulent realm without an emperor. Two young princes, Audrey and Shavat, are in line to rule, but birthright does not guarantee inheritance, for any ancestor must sit upon the legendary burning throne and pass the test of fire. Imbued with dark sorceries, the throne is a crucible, one that incinerates the unworthy. So I'm very, very excited for this one. And my mother-in-law, she's moved in with us, and I let her pick one for me to read, and this is what she picked. The Girl Who Could Move Shit with Her Mind by Jackson Ford. This just sounds like a fun sci-fi romp, and I'm ready to get to it. However, I am a little bit worried about the whole superhero thing because I don't really like that in stories, which is why I haven't picked this up yet. So we'll see how I like it. It might be a heck of a hit. You never know. And then lastly, let my best friend pick when she was still living with us, and she picked The Lost Queen by Signe Pike. Arthurian Legends meets Outlander. That's what I've heard about this, and I'm very, very pumped for that. I know a couple of people have been harassing me to read this, and they will be so excited that I'm finally picking it up. And then the patron buddy read will be The Stars Undying by Emery Robin. This is Anthony and Cleopatra in space, and I'm very excited for this. This is one that me and my friend Izzy have been looking forward to for a really long time, and I think that we talked Kate into it too. And I'm just ready. I'm ready for something heavy like this again. I think that this stack is going to provide me the stuff that I've been craving. Okay, now if I get through all of these in the month and still have time, there are a few other books that I really want to pick up. And I have the 4 of them here. If I am able to, it'll kind of be like an anticipated reads vlog. So let's just go with what we've got. Empire of Exiles by Erin M. Evans. I did start this and then had to set it aside because I didn't have the brain power to focus on it. To be fair, the brain power is there. The distractions are just very large. So I'm dealing with a lot of distractions. As you just saw, my dog walked into the room, so there was one distraction. And then I'd like to move on to the second book in the Kagan the Damned series. This is Son of the Poison Rose. This is book 2. I really loved the first one. It's so dark and it's so good. So I would like to see where this goes. And talk about anticipated reads. Holy mamma jamma. I have Empire of the Damned. Now how I'm going to avoid reading this and read all of those, I couldn't tell you. So I'm just letting you know there's a good chance that even though I've made commitments to all of that, this might happen because I own it now. It is here and I'm excited. One more, even after all of that. I really want to start this series. I'm dying to start this series. I didn't do it last year. I want to do it this year. So if I can get around to it, I'm going to start this series this month. Okay, that is it for my TBR, MBR, planned reads, might reads. All of the above. And again, our Patreon buddy read will be The Stars Undying by Emery Robin if you guys want to come join us. And as always, have a lovely, lovely day. Bye.